Hello, my name is Ernest, and I am a PhD candidate at the University of Hong Kong Law School. The theme of ATRIP's 40th conference is intellectual property rights in times of crisis. And I would like to talk to you about a crisis. No, it is not the pandemic, rather our future. Once upon a time, creativity was an endeavor singular to humans. As human beings, we are creative. We write literature, we paint, we compose music, and we invent things. These traits have always been the backbone of being human. But this is under threat. Artificial intelligence. AI, AI, AI. Everybody seems to want to talk about AI. Everybody seems to want to proudly pontificate on the wonders of AI. AI can write novels. AI can paint. AI can compose music. AI can take photos. And AI can invent. Some are so caught up with measuring how advanced AI is and also advocating intellectual property rights for AI-generated works that we are not stopping and pausing for a moment to think about how this affects the future of human creativity. AI technology attempting to imitate human creativity has raised several challenges and questions for the future of our creativity. IP theory was developed by and for humans, but now is being asked to swap their stripes for spots in adapting to non-humans. IP principles were designed by and for humans, but are now being asked to awkwardly reconstitute themselves to cover non-humans. And perhaps most importantly, human creativity is being usurped by AI technology. The result for AI, creativity, and intellectual property rights is that we stand at a crossroads. And my thesis directly addresses the paths ahead. Firstly, does AI technology promote or retract our ability to be creative? For example, do we want our children not to know how to write, draw, or compose creatively because AI can do it for them? Secondly, what does it mean to be creative? And is creativity solely a human endeavor? For example, do the electric impulses of an algorithm compare to the soul of a human? Thirdly, it is precisely at the time of contemplating the challenge to intellectual property rights that AI technology poses that a more fundamental question can be revisited. Do we need intellectual property rights to safeguard our future creativity? For example, is it really necessary to extend the already gigantic and unending tentacles of IP to cover works created by artificial intelligence? These are the issues that my research seeks to answer. And my thesis addresses those issues in a novel and transformative way. Firstly, ordinarily, IP research is purely doctrinal. My research collects empirical evidence from 3 samples: artists, computer scientists, and legal professionals to explain why creativity is an inherent human condition. Moreover, it has expanded the discussion of AI and intellectual property rights to those in the field. Connecting and including the relevant stakeholders results in a more insightful approach to applying intellectual property rights to AI technology. Secondly, IP research predominantly focuses on specific legal principles, such as authorship. My research discusses AI, creativity, and intellectual property rights in a more holistic way and presents a deeper philosophical understanding of creativity. Adopting a holistic approach means the chosen path we take to our future creativity is more sustainable and not open to easy reproach. Thirdly, my research considers AI-generated works and intellectual property from a multidisciplinary approach that combines the history of art with case studies from neuroscience to provide insight into how humans create and why this is different to artificial imitation. Through understanding creativity better, we are able to make better choices in how and why we develop intellectual property rights. My thesis provides a much needed pause for reflection, both in relation to how we perceive creativity when attached to technology, and for reviewing the premise in which intellectual property rights exist. And in that moment of pause, we may well reflect that through resisting the temptation to jump on the AI intellectual property rights bandwagon, we hold human creativity as true, and that excessive intellectual property rights will not, by their own volition, secure our future creativity. Thank you.